Hello guys, this is a new Blender beginners tutorial and my name is Wade, and now I want to introduce you and give some information about 3D graphics softwares and what is 3D and why we need that 3D graphics. So first of all, 3D stands for three-dimensional things and everything that you can see from any sides. And why we need that 3D? 3D is now almost used in every field, every business, and mostly it's used for the purposes like gaming in the and creating VFX models, 3D printing, also modeling and creating some animated videos, cartoons, even movies, and as well as for VR purposes. And that all of these things we can do in 3D 3D graphics software. And there are many types of 3D graphics softwares, and the main ones are the 3ds Max, Maya, ZBrush, Houdini, Lightwave, and also Blender. And not all softwares are free to use, and mostly all 3D softwares which is used in game industries, movie industries, in other spheres are paid, and you need to pay to use some full version. And there are some prices of them. And why I love Blender? Because it's free, open source, and it's also created by the volunteers, and the creator of the Blender is Tom Roosevelt. I don't remember well that his name, and everything is written in the Python programming languages, and uh, for that's why it's free. I used the Blender, and there in many and you can find also Maya or 3D Max for free, but it's for students use, and you cannot use all add-ons, inputs, all characteristics of that software, because to use this you should pay for that kind of money. And let's move. There are five basics of 3D, and the first thing is the modeling, second one texturing, third one lighting, then rendering, and last but not least the compositing. Firstly, we need modeling. By modeling, we create almost everything, the models of everything. I mean, 3D models of everything. It can be characters, some kind of machines, buildings, environment, everything, and everything will be created by the first step by modeling, and the second step is the texturing. Why we need this? We know that every object in the real world has its own texture, and for that purpose we use texturing. And the there are many things that we can use texture, play in this, and give them everything that we want. The third one, it's lighting. Lighting is the main things that plays in order to create very realistic photos, videos, or movies. We put lighting as a light source, and it shows how everything is done, how it looks like, and it creates like the real scene in the software. So we need the lighting, and then rendering. Rendering, it's the step when you done everything, lighting, modeling, and texturing, and you need to get the final result of your works. And for that we use rendering, and by rendering we can create render as an image, as a video, as a game, as well as a VFX, VR, everything we can do by rendering. And the last thing is the also by rendering we can do some kind of realistic pictures. It's the VFX, and we need compositing. Compositing, it's the final work to do with our final results. Like we can play with the colors of it, we can blur it, we use the lightning and hue, saturation, and many things, and that's very funny and that's interesting and amazing, trust me. And the first step, it will be to download the Blender, and as I said, it's open source. You can download it to going to its official site, www.blender.org, and here you see that the download Blender, and the latest version is 2.79b, and I'm also using that one. And also we have 2.8, it's new version of Blender, but it's demo version and it's not fully works, so I usually recommend you to use that one. And if you click that button, download Blender, you go to here, and here you can choose what you want. If you use Windows software, and you can download 64-bit installer or 32, or also there has the files of Mac for MacOS, for Linux and other versions, even the zip version of this. And don't worry if you don't have Windows software, or you use some kind of Apple notebooks or something. And okay, then now we'll go to the Blender file. Let me open it. Okay, that's how the Blender looks like. That's something pretty. If you are a very beginner, that looks like some kind of weird or something, you don't understand it, but don't worry, I'll somehow give a bit information about it. And this panel, it's called everything you done will be shown in this panel. And if you want to change some kind of I don't know, get texture, you can do in this place. If you want to render it, you can find here. If you want to add some modifiers, here it has texturing, participle, and many others. And also, if you put if you click everything, that you'll change everything, I don't know, or even dividing that things. If you go to something that you can't, you change it everything, so don't worry about that. If you go to the file, new, reload startup file, and it will go to the first startup file. And firstly, I want to begin with the user preferences. To go here, first go to file, user preferences. That's the first preference of it. And just a minute. Okay, it's here. There are some things. Firstly, go to input, and if you want to work, just a minute, let me to start display screencast case. There it will show everything that I clicked, or in every detail that will show you. Now if you go to startup settings, and if you want to click something, It's not by clicked by the left button of the mouse. In order to click something, you should click by the right button to choose any of these objects like camera or lab or that object. And if you want to change it, you are welcome by doing it to select with. You can change to the left or right, it don't matter. Even if you, in order to move or rotate the view, you need to click the middle button of the mouse in order to move here like I am doing. And if you don't have that button, don't worry. Here if you click the emulate 3 button mouse, it will do it for you. And also there's a interesting thing, it's emulate numpad. If you don't have like 193 buttons like in PC, if you click emulate, that will be emulating here. And also here the add-ons. Add-ons are that's the add-ons that can you use for to make your work very easy. Here the SAMS interface, you can work on them, and if you change something, don't worry, as I mentioned above. And there are also a thing that I should show in a system. Please, if you have there cycle compute CCD, if you have something in it, please choose it, because if you want to render something, it will be very easy and no time consuming for you to do it by your this. And also in editing, here the undo, I highly recommend you to put it 128, because if you do some work and you feel that something is wrong, you paste shift Z, it's undos of your work, last work, and the more here it is, and the more you can undo, and that's very useful thing. And after that, you should press save user settings and exit. That will be the user preference. And now I want to show you something about the modeling. Firstly, that's the cube. In order to delete something, you press X button and delete, or if you can choose a button, or you can press the delete button, and all of them will do the same thing. But the X button, it's the very easy and something that makes your work easier. And wait a minute. And if you want to add something or something, please press Shift A. There are several things. It's the things that you can add to your interface, like here mesh, curve, surface, metal ball, text, camera, lamp, and most of things like speaker or empty, we will not use. Even you as a beginner will not use for this for sure. And the most used thing is the mesh. They are the main shapes of things that you can start working, like the plane here, and or you can add the cylinder, or here you can add the UV sphere. Every thing that you need, it's located in the mesh. And there's something that's called the monkey. If you press that, you can see that there's a head of the monkey, and here it's written that it's the Suzanne, and that's a very useful thing, and it's created by the creators of the Blender to make to test everything, like to test texturing, how it's look like to in your material, or lighting maybe, or some kind of modifiers. So you are welcome to use to test it from this, and it will be very easy for you. Okay, you know, firstly I am moving, and if you scroll the middle button, you can see that it zooms in and zooms out, and it's rotating from one angle. And if you want to rotate move your rotation, you press shift. Oh, okay, I forgot to display the screencast, and you press shift, then that button, and you will do something like this. You see, it's like moving in your scene, like choosing and zooming, like moving among that scene, and choosing, like moving. And also there are some kind of views that will be very popular, like the numpad 1. It's the view numpad 1 view. It will be views from the front, numpad 3 from the side. To make it clear, let me just remove that cube and put here to the monkey. And if you press numpad 1, it will show you from the front, numpad 3 from the side, and numpad 7 from the top of your mesh. And that's the basic things of your choosing, because you will mostly work on that thing. And another thing that I want to show you, it's there some kind of modifiers I want to show you. There are a bunch of modifiers that you can use, but I will say you that the most used modifier, it's the array modifier, viewer modifier, mirror modifier, and solidify modifier, and subdivision surface modifier. It's mostly used for modeling purposes. Like if you press subdivision surface modifier, it will make your mesh like more create more faces and likes it. Oh, just I want to remind you that's a cube. And you see, there's something that I want to say here. And if you press the tab button, it will move to the edit mode, and if you press the tab again, it's moved to object mode. There are several modes, and edit mode you can go like here, or pressing tab button. If you move the tab button, and you can edit like you want, here want, or you can even scale or something like this. And you see that here little dots, and at the angles, that's called the vertices here. And also we have here the edges, and also we have faces. And what subdivision surface will do, I will show you. Let me put the monkey Suzanne, and if you go to the tab button, here it says 500 faces here. You see, that some little things has so many faces. And if you add subdivision surface modifier and you see that and apply it, let me just apply. You see the faces are more than 500. The faces are here 1068 faces, and the subdivision surface does the same thing. And if you want to undo your things, press Ctrl Z and again Ctrl Z. Also, and you see it has some. It shows your the edges, vertices. It's not smooth enough. You want to make it smooth. You press the smooth button. It makes it more smoother by like not showing your the edges. If you press the flat button, it makes the faces more flatter and it makes the faces more smoother. And if you want to make it to duplicate, you press the here duplicate button, it duplicates, or you can easily press Shift and D and it also duplicates the button. And I think now we learned how to move here, zoom in, zoom out, also selecting objects, deleting him, adding some kind of meshes, and also we learned to go to the edit mode, and also learned to see it from the side view, front view, side view, and the top view. And also if you press the 0 button, it views the camera view, and by camera view you can see that your result, how it will be looked from the camera. And that's all. And also at the end I want to show you one interesting add-on. Here if you go to the file, user preferences, add-ons, here if you in the search button ArchMesh, if you add the ArchMesh to your here, it's the first add-on to its by that add-on it will be very easy to generate rooms, doors, windows, and other architecture objects. It will be that add-on is very easy to create some kind of houses or using for architectural purposes. And save user settings, and if you go to the Shift A in the mesh, you can see that the ArchMesh, and if you go to here, you see that add room, add door, add real window, panel window, cabinet, shelves, columns, stairs, roof, and here also decorations like lamp, roller curtain, Venetian blind, Japanese curtains. If you press it, it will add like Japanese curtain like this. Let me just or here like a lamp, a very little lamp. It's created lamp, and it will be easy to decorate your room. Also here if you press Shift A, add a door, you can see that the door is added. If you press the N button, it will reveal you the some extra panel that's very used. And if you can work here in the you can see the door. It will generate the widths, heights, the size of it, rotation and everything, even the rotation. It will be a left opponent, a right opponent, from the both sides model. Here several models. It also has handle, several models of its handle, everything. Or in order to not show here, press N. For revealing that panel, press 2 button. And just another thing, if you add a room, that's the door. Let's work here like the door hole, everything like this. There are how many walls it should have, everything. If you want to create a house, that Artemis add-on, that will be very useful for you. And just a minute here. And that was the first tutorial, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our new channel, give our likes, and what do you want us to publish in next days, or what do you want to see, what kind of things you want to learn from the Blender or other softwares. Please write in the comments your views, your recommendations. We appreciate it, everything. So with you was the Wade. So my name is Wade, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.